Actually got it for you.
Trophy.
Is my hair okay, everybody? Looks great, Wall. All right, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Okay. First, I want to thank Rich Enza. He's done a fabulous job for this conference. And I got to know him, and he's a great guy to boot. So I hope he has a great retirement. I also want to thank Atlantic City for putting this on, because it's getting better and better each year, not because we won it. I'd like to congratulate Marist for a super well-played game. I know you pick up a stat sheet and you see we won by 21, but we all know that wasn't a 21-point game. Small Catholic schools, they don't have a lot of quantity, but they have so much quality. Our fan base, our alumni, every game we sold out this year. But this is a special day because it doesn't happen often where the women win a championship and the men win a championship. And I know Matt, our athletic director back there, he's got to take a lot of great pride because him and his staff have worked their butts off to sell out the place. Billy Chambers represents all the great things about Iona. It's really a special Catholic university with great alumni, great fans, and we're real proud of Billy and certainly proud of our team. Now, to basketball, I told our guys, the thing about pressing teams, and because I've been through it so many years, you watch a pressing team, they come close to a 5-second count, they come close to a steal, and you wait for those 1 or 2 runs, and then boom, the three-point shot goes, the turnover goes. Tonight, the block shots were one of the most incredible things I've witnessed as a basketball coach. Just incredible. The play, the heart of these guys. Now, these guys are exhausted. They play a lot of minutes. Walter's playing on a bad ankle. And I'm so proud of them for what they've given me this year. But it's just starting for us. We're just starting this. We have firm belief that we can go on and play good basketball. We think we're going to be an 8-9 seed. You're not laughing? Okay, good. But we think we deserve a very good seed. I'm not politicking because I told the guys 3 weeks ago, if you fall anything short of 27-7, I'll be very disappointed. And they did it. Regardless of the injuries, they did it. And it's a credit to their stamina, credit to their heart. Iona University, they realized these guys are from Dallas, Texas, Florida. I don't know where the hell Walt's from in Florida, but it's a small little town.
Florida.
Nigeria, Florida again. We really, except for James Carey, didn't have one New Yorker. We did it with recruiting guys from other states, and they truly love Iona University like we all do. And remember this, I was in Greece looking for a place to land, and I just landed in a great spot, and I've been lucky with the young men I recruited. I did, along with the staff, a fabulous job of recruiting young men. So Matt, congratulations back there. You've been tremendous to our program and to the women's program. I'm just so happy for Billy, so happy for us, and so happy for the guys on the basketball team. It's been wonderful.
Okay, we're going to go questions for the players, but first, Walt, if you can undo that mic so you can pass it easily. Just pull it out of the... There you go. All right, we'll go questions for the players. Just raise your hand and Chris will bring the mic over.
First off, congrats everybody. This is for any player. I'm not sure if this was by design, if you guys were just caught up with the celebrations, but I noticed Coach Pitino had to call you guys over to cut the nets. Did you guys forget, or were you guys just too excited?
They're getting their phones.
This is my first time cutting the net, so I didn't really know how all that worked. That's me. I don't know about everybody else.
I mean, I just couldn't
I didn't know where to put my emotions. I didn't know where to go. You know, I mean, I knew we needed to cut the net at some point, but so busy doing other stuff, it was like, forget the net.
And for Berrick or Nelly, you guys experienced this before. How does this compare? And what's it feel to accomplish your mission of coming out on top?
It feels good, super good. I remember to cut the net. I was just so tired. I was like, give me a minute. Just give me a minute before we go up there and cut it. My focus got hurt a little bit, but I knew we had to cut it eventually. But we're gonna celebrate it and share some moment with the guys and everybody, the family and the staff and the school and the coaches. So remember, we're just gonna wait a little bit.
I was tired, so I had to go grab some snacks because I was hungry. So I didn't forget though. I was just hungry a little bit.
Berrick, 46-46 game, and Isaiah Brickner goes up for a dunk, and you block it cleanly. After that, 30-9 Iona run wins the game, 76-55. And on that run, Nelly, you blocked a fast break dunk. Just talk about your defense and your ability to block shots. Coach talked about that. Just touch on what that meant for the team.
We know our team's super athletic, and I knew the game was on the line, and we had to make big defensive plays, and the only thing that was going through my head was win, and get stopped. So after blocking that, that's what the shirt says. It's not today. He was not dunk on me. Not today. Not today.
Chris, over to Ken. Then we'll go Zach.
Yeah, just say as Daniss, 46 all. Marist had momentum, and then I think Berrick, you got a block, and then you made a shot, and then Oz made a shot, and then it just fed on itself on the run that Sam mentioned. How did you feel, Daniss? I think you had 12 points in that, after the 46 all.
I mean, like I always say, our offense is always there. So if we can get a stop, I mean, there's no stopping us. That's how we feel. So we knew if we can get a stop and we get on the break, Coach keep telling us all night. He always tells us to stay with it, just stay with it, we'll have our run. So that's how we look at it. And we look for plays like what Berrick made to spark our run, and that's what it did. And we all just was playing off that energy from that play.
I just asked Nelly about congratulations. You played against Patrick Gardner, who's had a great second half of the season, I'd say, at Marist. What was that competition like against Patrick Gardner? What was your defensive strategy?
I know he's a great player, so I have to be able to stay up on him and don't make him drive to the left and just make it on shoot because he's a great shooter too. So I'm just trying to keep him off the rim and stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
For any of the players, Rick the other day talked about how you guys were putting in 12 to 13-hour days. What were the days leading up to the MAAC tournament like for you guys? How much time were you guys putting in?
I mean, I said it the other night. Coach, we all as a team don't believe in getting tired. If somebody goes down, it's the next man up. So I don't even remember how much time. We don't think about that. Sometimes at practice though, I look at the clock sometimes. I mean, Coach, hold on. But other than that, I mean, we try to go in and we just work hard. Me as the leader, I just try to tell them each and every day when we go in the gym, we need to get better at something. Whatever it is, we need to be 1% better. And we always try to push each other each and every day. Like we always mention, the teams are very competitive. Me and Walt is going against each other each and every practice. So us being the leaders on both squads, I mean, we just lead in the right way.
And the other thing is, do you think, all the time you got, how important was the last, 10 minutes of that game? You guys really had that finishing kick that maybe they didn't. How much do you think just all the time paid off there? You guys put in.
That's the staff that put that in, not the players.
I was about to say.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. It wasn't nobody else gonna say nothing though.
That's the staff putting in. They're putting in a good 2.5. They go had 30-minute individuals and hour 45-minute practice, but the staff was putting in 13, 14, 15 hours a day. Talik must have watched about 24 hours of film on Marist. Talik is a new coach, and he did a phenomenal job with a speech this afternoon, as well as a scouting report. So,
What was the speech?
Question was, what was the speech?
You want to take it or want me to?
You go ahead, Coach.
He just said that this is a life-changing experience. Remember, he's a national champion guard at Connecticut. And he said this, to get to the NCAA is a life-changing experience because then you get to see how far you can go. And he said, grasp this life-changing experience. And he's a great role model for my guys, and that's why I hired him. They love him. We are probably one of the closest knit teams that you could possibly find. And all the coaches this year did a phenomenal job of just sacrificing the hours upon hours upon hours. I've got a fabulous staff. Manhattan did Iona the greatest favor in the world because we got Stevie Mass on our staff and he did a wonderful job. And thank you, Manhattan.
Mike Carlin from 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey. This is to Daniss and Walter. 27 points tonight. Your coach gave you a compliment of all compliments the last game when he called you to coach on the floor. You could see that tonight. Whenever the team was coming back on you, whether you were down by, up by 3 or you went to 5, when there was a big basket to be made, you raised to the occasion for that. So I'm just good luck moving forward in the tournament. And Walter, player of the year this year, championship game tonight. Did it seem like the first half you were getting great looks, but they just weren't falling? But as we always hear from a coach, shoot. So I loved seeing that you just kept shooting, and in the second half they started dropping and you started doing your thing. So again, congratulations to the whole team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go questions for Rick now. Go ahead, Mike.
Rick, what went into the decision to press them full court, for the entire game?
Well, I knew they had a war last night in the second half with St. Peter's, and we pressed them the other 2 times. But in the back of my mind, I'm saying I really have 5 players playing most of the minutes. Am I going to wear out most of my team? But then I take a look at Walter Clayton, Daniss, Jenkins, Berrick, and Nelly, and I said it won't matter. They'll give it to me the whole time. And they did. You know how tough it is to deny the entire time, run the break? And that's why sometimes you see Daniss will throw the ball out of bounds to nobody. He's exhausted. At one time out I looked at Walt and Daniss, and at halftime I said, I told Walt, get up, now give me a hug. Okay, now you got Coach P with you now for these shots, keep shooting. And these guys just, other teams I wouldn't have pressed. But with these guys, I knew they'd come through for us.
The pressure was as good in the 40th minute as it was in the first. Is that just a testament to them? How worried were you that you would get tired?
We don't go long practices, but we go hard. We go about an hour and 50 minutes this time of year, and we go really hard. Once in a while, Walt will sneak water, but these guys are going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then DJ will say when he wants me to end practice, that clock's not moving, coach.
And at 46, is there just a belief that the pressure is going to get to them at some point?
I told them in 2 timeouts, we're going to have our run. We're going to have our run. Don't worry about it. Our run's coming. Our run's coming. And I've seen it for year upon year upon year, whether it's Kentucky, Louisville, Providence, didn't matter. I knew the run was coming.
Coach, Mike, moving forward with the madness now. This team.
With what, I'm sorry?
With the March Madness.
Okay.
With this team, if they don't know you, which they should, this is a scary team going. Like this is a team I won't want to play in the first round. When you have a leader, like you said, your leader on the floor, and you got a player of the year, and you have a 7-foot guy that shoots threes like he's a 6'2" guard doing it his whole life, where you spread the floor, this is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a St. Peter's like last year, but this is going to be a scary team moving forward.
Well, we're lucky because our lack of bench support didn't bother us. I had to take Daniss out with 2 fouls, but throughout this whole period of winning, 13, 14 straight, we really didn't, we were able to save the players and not lose. And that was the scariest thing for me, because we really don't have an experienced bench. Now, Sadiku came through for us last night, gave us some good moments now. But these guys, their stamina is incredible. And I've got great confidence in them. We're not going to say that we're going to do what St. Peter's did, but I know one thing: we'll represent Iona University in strong fashion.
Okay, we'll go Ken and then Zach.
Coach Ken Kraetzer, campus media. Yeah, I was just going to ask you about, you got Michael Jefferson in for 15 minutes and Anton Brookshire in for a little over 10. Sadeku got in about 7. So you got a few minutes out of your bench today. How did you feel they did in that time?
They did well. You look at the stats, and they know how I feel about defense, regardless of what the offense does. We shot 41% for the game, 39 from 3, 77 from the line. They shoot 25%. They have 18 turnovers to our 11. We're not a turnover team. We get 35 deflections. So we knew defense had to get us to this moment. And it's not easy being a number 1 seed. This conference, look, Marist is not the 11th seed. Marist can play with anybody. St. Peter's can play with anybody. This conference, we're all equal, with the exception of I've got the best center, the best backcourt, and the best athlete. So my starting 5 is the difference maker in this conference. So we're real proud of that, but this conference is a tough conference. The pressure I feel with the MAAC is so much greater than at Kentucky, Louisville, Providence, Panathinaikos. Because you got to bring it every night or you're going home. And you're not going to say, okay, we'll get a 3 seed instead of a 2 seed. It doesn't work that way in the MAAC.
Coach, I was at one of your Providence NCAA games, game against Syracuse in the Final Four. Do you have evolved a strategy or a way of preparing for the NCAA tournament that you've followed over the years?
Well, more than anything else, I just constantly share stories with my guys. I told them about how Michael Jordan comes out the other night, how Michael Jordan comes out for a game and what he does in the beginning of the game. He doesn't look to go off in the first 5 minutes. He looks to get everybody in the flow. He's a 4th quarter guy. And I told him about the air of Michael Jordan. I constantly tell them stories. I don't know if they're tired of hearing the different stories, but it's mostly about professional stories and about things that we've accomplished. And so they have that same feeling. So we're excited, super excited. We're tired. All of us are really tired. I mean, Nelly had to run out to eat.
Zach?
Rick, any part of you wanted to get up on that ladder and cut up part of the net down?
I was so tired I couldn't get up there. I really was. I'm not as tired as them, but the pride that I have for them is so unbelievable because they're such great people. From all walks of life, 4 from Africa, 1 is really living in Ireland, speaks fluent Polish, Sunday silence. Just all of them, they're like my children. I'm like a strict dad. But I know they love me and they certainly know I love them.
Rick, also wanted to ask you, there are reports out there that St. John's is interested in you. I asked your president about it. He said they're aware that they could lose you. Do you have any interest in that job?
My interests lie with my team. I'm very thankful to Iona University. I think that's because Father JeanLouis and I have both worked as friars. But you have to understand one thing. The biggest factor in my life is winning. More so than the Big East, more so than anything. Winning is the most important thing in my life. In 2 years in league play, we are 35-6. 35-6. We've been to Hawaii, we've been to Las Vegas at 2 a.m, we've been to New Mexico with 15,000 crazy fans. We played in the Barclays Center against St. Bonaventure, we played St. Louis at home, Penn and Princeton. Winning to me is if I ever moved, I'd have to have firm belief that the job I take, wherever it may be, can win like Iona. And I'm not sure there are very few of those out there.
Okay, we'll go one more for Rick.
Coach, what's the greatest...
Zach, did you want to follow up? Yeah. Go ahead, I'll repeat the question.
I haven't thought about it yet, because all I'm thinking about is getting these guys to where they want to go. And I think there'll be they don't come any better than my AD. The best in the business. Superstar. I got the best players in the world. If somebody could match this culture, I want to see it, because we've built the culture. They don't miss a class. The women don't miss a class. They never miss a class. Or they get called in by Jamie and her academic squad. And they all got to go to tutoring. They all got to put in so many hours. They're respectful. I mean, this culture is incredible. Incredible. And it's all due to the leadership of Matt.
Coach, the MAAC is one thing, but you're probably going to face your best opponent of the season in your next basketball game. What is the greatest challenge about getting these guys prepared for that?
I know they'll bring great intensity, but we'll be prepared, whoever we play. We know what it's all about. It all depends on what seed you get. That's why we played the schedule. We wanted to get a really good seed. We believe we will. We've been as low as 38 in the net. We're 61 right now, so we've got a very good resume. I'll leave that in the hands of the committee, certainly, but these guys are up for the task. They need a day off. We'll take tomorrow morning off, tomorrow afternoon, and come back and practice tomorrow evening.
All right.
I don't know. I think it's more psychological, his injury right now. What happens with the Achilles, you feel a little pain, you think you're going to blow it out, but we've done 2 MRIs. You got to get over, when you have an injury, like Sadiqa was that way, you got psychological, you're afraid you got to get over the psychological part, and that's what he has to get over right now. So I couldn't answer that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Well, thank you all for the coverage. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck in the NCAA tournament. Congratulations.
Nelly, you got the trophy, right?
And that's Iona coach Rick Pitino with players Walter Clayton, Daniss, Jenkins on the side there. That's Nelly Jr. Dove's about to pick up the trophy, and Berrick JeanLouis walking off the stage. Congratulations to them winning the MAAC championship, both regular season and the tournament, and they will be receiving an NCAA bid tomorrow night. And we'll be real excited to see where they end up playing in the NCAA tournament. Certainly Coach Pitino has more experience than virtually anyone in preparing a team for that huge sporting event. So we'll have more. And it's Ken Kraetzer for Cam Vets Media. Thanks for watching. And also, if you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. Put it down in the comment what town you may be in. That's always fun. Thanks again.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.